I look, you want to watch this. What does Gideon mean by this? 5 days ago. Let's watch this one.
Alright, what's good YouTube, man? So I've been wanting to react to this video for a fat minute now. This video is really interesting because a group of college students pretty much did what me, Alex, Skeeter, Oma, pretty much all the predator catchers did, but they did it the entirely wrong way. They botched it completely, and it made national headlines.
In Worcester, Massachusetts, authorities arrested 6 college students who they say lured a man to campus using a dating app, where he was then chased down by a group of 25 people, assaulted, and falsely accused of being a sexual offender. The ploy, police say, inspired by a social media fad that they say may be based on the former NBC TV series To Catch a Predator. It happened at Assumption University, where in court documents, police say a man was invited to campus by an 18-year-old student who used her real profile on the dating app Tinder.
Bro. Alright. I understand if it's an older person, it's an 18-year-old, you know, obviously it's illegal, but if you're going to do the predator catching, you can't say 18. You have to say 17. If you say 18, that completely ruins it. Like what? How you gonna have the decoy pose as an 18-year-old? You're supposed to do underage.
Say when he arrived, the man, whose family says is 22, said he and his alleged date were watching a baseball game in the student lounge when the mob appeared and began calling him a pedophile and accusing him of liking sex with 17-year-old girls.
Say what you will about the kids, you gotta give them some credit at least. They do live up to the school's name.
The man told police the group chased him to his car, where they punched him in the head and slammed his car door on him. He got away and called police, who say surveillance video shows the group of students, many of whom were filming the incident on their phones, laughing and high-fiving with each other.
I know a lot of you guys that watch what I do, watch what other predator catchers do, you guys want to do the same thing. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, nah, leave it to professionals, because I'm damn sure not a professional. But what I do have that you guys don't have is I have mentors in this sphere that have actually been doing it for years, that actually have results that I can consult with and hit up and even collab with at any time I want. You guys don't have that. So you guys have to go through a lot more trial and error than I do. And obviously these college students jacked this up to where it went on national television. And what this does is, bro, police officers see this stuff. So when police officers see this stuff, when DAs see this stuff, when detectives see this stuff, whenever they get a call from groups like me, Skeeter, Alex, they're gonna automatically assume that is this type of shenanigans, and they're not going to want any part of it, even though it's 100% legit.
6 students at Assumption University allegedly used the dating app Tinder to lure a man to meet a teenage girl at the university. The man showed up and was beaten up by a mob of nearly 30 students.
Hey, I will say this, bro. I'd rather more people who's trying to catch pedos than not, no, to be honest.
You got caught up in a sting operation, right? Let's put ourselves.
Yeah, the safest route is just don't talk to nobody. That's still
I got caught up in a sting operation. I can either face going to jail, becoming a sex offender, losing my family, losing every single job opportunity going into the future, or I can get the ability to just get beat up, and then they may post it on social media. Probably won't even see my face because you know people don't know how to hold their phone during a fight. So I'm gonna get beat up a little bit. I'm gonna get off scot-free. Which one do you think a predator would choose? I know you guys are out here saying, well, the police don't arrest. No. I've been getting arrested. Skeeter's been getting arrested. Oma's been getting arrested. Alex has been getting arrested. They have been arresting. If you give the police a good solid case and you actually have a good police department, they will investigate it, and then hopefully they will press charges against the individual. So you can't sit up here and be like, we gotta give them street justice. What is street justice about beating up these dudes and them getting up, getting back in their car, and then going back out and doing it again?
Hey, I would say, bro, sometimes belt to ass is a good, you know what I mean? Belt to ass is a good way to solve things.
Because listen, this is all they're gonna do, right? All they're gonna do is next time they go to meet a minor, they're just gonna bring that pistol with them. They're gonna bring that Glock. Or they're gonna bring a knife, or they're gonna bring some other form of weaponry. And then, if it just so happens to actually be a child that they're meeting, that child is even more endangered now.
That is true, though.
Because
I understand what he's
saying.
saying.
Them up and then put
like
them back out in the street. That would be like Batman.
If we think about it statistically, bro, at the end of the day, it's all about saving children. So if the street justice method don't work, like, not that it don't work, but like if the street justice method don't work, and say it creates more repeat offenders compared to them just calling the cops and doing it the professional way and not beating them up and shit, and them getting a longer sentence, then technically you shouldn't even do the street justice, because it is all about saving the children at the end of the day. So I agree with him here. As much as I would love to, you know what I mean, be on the street justice side, I gotta respect it.
Man, just stopping the Joker, beating him up, and then being like, justice was served. No.
Wait,
Batman
what?
would Joker beating him and then put them back out on the streets. That would be like Batman just stopping the Joker, beating him up, and then being like, justice was served.
Alright, I'm gonna be honest. With the amount of times Joker has been released and caused crime, I think Batman does do that. I think Batman literally does beat the shit out of Joker and then let him go free. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Jenny I read the comics, bro. Batman lets Joker go a lot of times, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. How the fuck Joker keeps going free? Break that man's leg or something, bro.
No. Batman would beat him up, and then he would give them to the police. But you guys don't want to give the police that because you know what you're doing is assault. I saw a video the other day.
Fuck it, bro. I'll take the assault charge.
It sucks to put him under the bridge, but I got to. This dude I know, his name is Jacob Markovich.
Damn.
He did a video
Shots fired?
where he literally shot a predator point blank in the face with a paintball gun. I might react to that. Let me know if you blank in the face with a paintball gun.
That's crazy.
I might react to that. Let me know if you guys want me to react to that video. With a paintball gun, right? Like 40, 60 times.
I mean, low-key, they finna get in jail anyways. No, that's true, too.
In the comment
Both sides
section
work for
that
gruesome
police
times, bro.
presence was involved. If you don't get out of here, police presence might, but you will be in jail. If you don't get out of here, police presence might, but you will be in jail. That is assault. And the crazy thing about it is, even if the guy went to jail that night, they would drop his charges and then slap assault, battery.
That's
all
fucked up that the
stuff.
justice system
But
works
people
like that,
call
to be
it
honest.
justice. That's not justice. All that's gonna happen is these dudes and these girls are just gonna come with some weapon next time, so they're more prepared. That's literally it, because you know they're not gonna change.
6 students has been identified as 18-year-old Kelsey Brainerd of Holyoke. Police say that Brainerd's Tinder account was used to correspond with the man. She faces an additional charge of witness intimidation. Police say that the man did nothing wrong, that he was going to meet a woman who is listed as 18 years old online. All 6 students are facing charges for kidnapping and assault. Automatic not guilty pleas were entered on their behalf. They're all due back in court on March 28th.
It's becoming a trend now, and I don't think it's a bad thing that it's becoming a trend. I think it's a bad thing that people that really don't care about this are hopping on the trend, if you get what I mean. When you do the crazier stuff like shooting predators.
I'm not gonna lie, my idea was a little crazy, but I would have still got the cops involved. I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing wrong with calling the cops on a child predator or some shit. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But my idea was to beat them up, but it was gonna be a funny beat up. Like, the way I would have did it, it would have been super funny. I don't want to say it because I don't want nobody to steal my idea. I still want to do it, and I think I am going to do it in the future. But my idea would be super funny, bro. Trust me, bro. Especially see me do it IRL. Y'all going to be like, bro, what the fuck? Bro, trust. It'll be hilarious. Just trust. It'll be a lot of RKOs.
In the head with a paintball gun. When you do crazy stuff like shaving their eyebrows, making them eat laxatives,
That's funny.
all this ridiculous stuff. And
That's
then at
funny,
the end
though.
of
I
the
ain't
day,
gonna lie.
you're just letting them go. So really,
Nah, we can still call the cops. Call the cops and make them eat laxatives.
Wouldn't rather do that than be put on the sex registry list. But you're letting them go. Ridiculous, man.
So unlike many of these videos that you've seen, especially with Chris Hansen, obviously the people that were trying to lure this man to campus had not actually told him that the victim was, a child, a 13-year-old or something like that. There is some controversy with the kids. They said that she was 17. However, the age of consent in Massachusetts is 16.
That's another thing, bro.
How the fuck
people hit me up saying,
yo, bro, how the fuck do you not know the fucking laws of your state if you're doing it? Like, bro, what?
Oh, I got this guy talking to a 16-year-old. And sometimes, like, there'll be like a 30-year-old talking to a 16-year-old. And is that weird?
Yes, but it's not against the law.
That dude, stop doing that. Yes. But then I asked him, where do you live? Oh, I live in Georgia.
No, that's so crazy how the law is.
Hire some different
how the
state
fuck can
representatives
16
because it's
be
legal
age
in Georgia.
of
There's nothing I
consent,
can
bro?
do.
That's so fucked up.
People be wanting me to do stuff, but it's nothing illegal about where it's happening and stuff. So these dumbasses set up a dude with a 17-year-old, not even knowing that is.
So essentially, when the police met with this student who called the police very quickly after this happened, he actually pulled into a church parking lot. After you saw in that video, he peeled out, went to a church parking lot down the street, called the police. They came and met with him. Were able to confirm pretty quickly, he was 22. They looked at the Tinder messages. Clearly, the woman's age on Tinder was 18, so they determined pretty quickly there was no crime there. And they went about the task of collecting evidence. And actually, when they went back to the school, the kids were very uncooperative. But according to the reports that I read, they all streamed into the police station on campus, over the next couple of days. Many of them obviously concerned about what might happen to them.
If the individual who was assaulted in this video, bro, if you would want to come on for an interview, man, I'll block out your face and everything, bro, and just let us know. I would love to get you on the show and stuff like that. But I did find this one clip of the father talking about the situation, so I'm gonna react to that right here.
Why is Jitty not even trying to give him a platform? That's a little weird.
Here.
The victims.
Even if the age is like 22, 23 to 18 or whatever, why are you trying to give him a platform? I don't know.
Father saying this over the phone.
We're just relying on the legal system to move forward and provide justice.
It's so crazy that they're out here trying to find a predator when they're actually the predators themselves, man. And the crazy and saddest part about all of this is there's probably an organization in this area that has been doing great work trying to, protect kids in that area. And these goofballs messed it all up. And bro, with this media coverage and stuff like that, no DA is gonna ever want to touch that. So, I think they all deserve the maximum 10 years plus, man, because
what the fuck are you
got
talking
that video
about,
out
Gideon?
there, and
Gideon's tripping, bro.
The cops involved.
Did you seriously just try to wait? What?
Bro, this dude would have been labeled a predator. L people, L college students, to the individual who was the victim, man.
Bro, Gideon's logic is flawed right here. Because if the age of consent is 16 and they were allowed to do that, right? And it's a 26-year-old meeting up with a 16-year-old. With Gideon's logic, he would still want to do an interview with him. And he would still think that the kids deserve a 10-year fucking sentence. Nah, I don't agree with Gideon on this one. He's tripping on this one. He's tripping on this one.
If you would like, I would love to have you on the show, bro. Tell us about your story and
everything. He invited him again?
If you would like,
Gideon, you tripping?
Students, to the individual who was the victim, man. If you would like, I would love to have you on the show, bro. Tell us about your story and everything. But I really don't got much else to say. If you guys do find that original video, hit me up on
crazy.
my
I can't
Instagram, edpwatch.com, or just email me and stuff. You guys are always emailing me, so you guys can email me it as well. And let me know if you guys like these type of reaction videos and stuff like that. And also, bro, like, you guys see stuff that's interesting and stuff that you guys want to hear my opinion on or anything else, please let me know, man, because,
Yeah, no. I thought it was 22 and they said 18. Yeah, exactly. But Gideon said if the age of consent is 16 and it's legal, that not necessarily that it's okay, but it's pretty much the same logic. You understand? Because 22 to 18 is legal. And in the state that they were talking about, the age of consent was 16. So he's saying if it was 16 to 22, it would be still the same shit. He's just saying it's legal. You understand? Because he was just saying about, right after he mentioned the 16, he said his example was a 30-year-old. I'm just saying 22. I mean, I'm just saying 26 or 25 or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? But his example was 30 years old. He said, yeah, it's weird, but it's not illegal. Like, nah, I don't agree with Gideon on that one. And then saying that the kid should get 10 years, he's tripping, bro. What even happened to the pedo? Did he get beat up like really bad or something? Like he almost lost his life? I mean, technically he's not a pedo because it's 22 to 18, but In his argument, he's saying they beat him up for no reason because it was age of consent. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think the 10-year part is specific to the case. Nah, this case wasn't 10 years apart. This case was only 4 years apart. His example was 10 years. Damn, I still can't believe he said a 30-year. Nah, he's tripping for that one. He's tripping for that one. I want to low-key read the comments on this. Let's see what people says. Jetty on his moist critical arc. And he hearted it, bro. Jetty, I don't think you want to be on the moist critical arc, bro. I don't know, bro. Moist critical's takes are a little weird, bro. This wasn't bread catching. This wasn't assault by Ahmad. Yeah, nah. 25 people deep is crazy. Assumption University is ironic. It's very easy to tell who's doing it for clicks and who wants to protect children. Now, that's a fact. But she said she was 18. Was actually true that time. Yeah, bro. The fact that they said 18 is crazy. Here's the issue with this case. She was 18 and he was in his 20s. That is perfectly legal and allowed. And not only did they say she was 18 in DMs, they had in a profile too. Yeah, bro. The people that did this, they slow. They should have said 17. But even in the state, though, he said the state was 16. So they would have had to say 15. Like, how you don't know the laws? At this point, they're going to call an age gap creepy if it's higher than a month. 18 to 22 is not even bad. I know a few people who started dating at the age, and now they are married with kids. Crazy people are either chasing clout or just flat out stupid. The victim here was actually in the front town for a funeral, was lonely and wanted someone to hang out with. Nah, this is what I will say. Think about the 18 to 22 gap as this. I graduated high school at 18. There's people graduating college at 22. A lot of people graduate college at 22. So imagine a high school senior going out with a senior in college. A 4-year age gap ain't bad. But when you really break it down and realize how much of a difference a 22-year-old is to an 18-year-old, it's a big difference, bro. Now, 22 to 26, that's a different kind of 4 years, in my opinion. 26 to 30 is a huge different kind of 4 years than a 16-year-old to a 12-year-old, than a 20-year-old to a 16-year-old, than a 22-year-old to an 18-year-old. You feel me? I was cracking seniors in 11. So what grade were you in, Smoking? Smoking, what grade were you in? I'm about to tell you the so what right now. What grade were you in when you was fucking 11th graders? 11th grade, bro. If you was in 11th grade and they were in 11th grade, there's nothing wrong with that. I thought you was about to say you was in like 9th grade and they were in 11th grade. No, I mean the exact case they did. Oh, no, I mean the exact case. Like they did deserve 10 for what they did because it's 22 and 18. Nah, bro. 10 years for that is crazy. Fuck that. 10 years for that is crazy. Hell no. Think about it. They're giving some child predators like 7 years, 8 years. I do not agree with 10 years. 10 years is a long ass time. Now, depending on how the person looks, if they beat him up bad and he was injured, then yes. If he just simply got beat up, which I think that's what happened, because they didn't mention anything about him being super injured. He just got jumped because JDI even said he's going to walk away with minor scratches and stuff like that. So to offer 10 years for some minor scratches and shit is fucking crazy. Because that's not, wait. No, I mean the exact case. Because it's not Pred vibes and they almost assaulted their character. Still, 10 years for assaulting somebody's character, bro. What? Bro, think about it. 10 years to pretty much go into slavery for assaulting somebody's character. Nah, that's crazy. Hell no. I could understand if they beat the shit out of the dude and he was like actually injured and shit. 10 years is reasonable. You know? I was a junior and my girl was an 8th grader. That's crazy, brother. Wait, no, 10th grade to 8th grade ain't too bad. But still, that's still a little crazy. They didn't, well, my shit was separated. 9th grade and 10th grade was in high school. I thought you said 11th grader dating an 8th grader. But still, 10th grader, were y'all all in the same school? I mean, 2 years below ain't bad, but like, you know? She was what, 3 years? She was 3 years younger than you or 2 years? That's not necessarily weird. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong. Want some grocery? Nah, I understand, bro. Trust me, I understand. But I also think, like, there's a double standard. I also think there's a huge double standard when it comes to men and women. Like, I'm pretty sure most guys had not fantasies, but wanted to, like, smash a teacher or some shit. You know what I'm trying to say? But then really think, we having these fantasies about smashing this teacher, we would think it's cool to fuck a teacher. But then imagine if it was a guy teacher and a girl student. We'll look at it like, damn, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So I feel like we gotta, like, respect it as both, you know? And as I'm getting older, I've grown to, like, respect it more, you know? Because truthfully, even if I had a son and I found out he was a kid having sex with an adult, first of all, I don't want my kids having sex at all until they late years, like 17 and up type shit. I ain't gonna lie. Not that I even want them having sex at 17, or you know what I'm trying to say? But they just need to be older. You know what I mean? More mature. They gotta understand what comes with it. But if I found out my kid was 15 years old having sex with a grown-ass teacher, even if it was a female, that's fucking crazy, bro. I'm gonna be tight at the fucking woman teacher. You know? Having they mentioned the great pedo stuff can really F stuff up in your life, especially with how the internet works. Nah, 100%. I agree with that. There definitely is a double standard. Nah, teach your kids to respect their bodies and for each other as well as boys, girls. Yeah, nah, 100%. But yeah, bro.